Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, Pajama Gramma here with today's Expert Secrets lesson, and today is a review day. It's all about, we're reviewing, it's our review question and answer day for section 2 of Expert Secrets, and it's all about creating belief. We're going to do a quick review of the section, and then if you have any questions or answers, fill out the form in your action sheet today, and I will get to and we will answer any questions that you have. I want us to take a breather day and a catch-up day so that you can really absorb and get all of the amazing information that was in this section of the book. This is a foundational section of the book. It is so important that we have done and we do and we actually understand everything in this section of the book, because everything we do moving forward, just like everything from section 1, builds upon itself. It's kind of like math. When you learn a certain math in school, and I hope you can relate to this, but when we're in grade school and then we move through high school, as we learn math, math adds upon itself. Each year, we learn more and more things. We learn to add, we learn to subtract, we learn to multiply, we learn to divide. First, we learn our numbers, we learn how to count. And all of math, as we get into the higher maths, algebra, geometry, and, differential equations and calculus and differential equations and whatever level of math we end up studying, it all builds upon itself. It's all foundational. You can't do certain things until you learn how to count and add, subtract, multiply, and divide. At least I think most people would agree with me on that. So it's the same thing with this. We need to get the foundational things in place in order to create a great offer and a great presentation for people. And part of being able to present what it is we want to present, our new opportunity to people, is doing it in such a way as they will actually understand and be able to hear and see what it is that we're presenting to them. And if a person has a belief that something is not possible for them or isn't possible or is impossible, they will not even see it. They literally will not physically see or hear it. It's like their brain filters it out. Think of all the messages and the things that our brain actually filters out a day. Our brain filters out, and our eyes and our senses are actually filtering mechanisms to keep us safe and to protect us. So they filter out anything that they don't want us to see, that they think will distract us or take our focus away from what it is that we're doing and where it is we're going in our life. And so when two people see the same event or witness the same event or in the same conversation. Have you ever had that happen? You're both in the same conversation, but you hear totally different things. I know before I got divorced, that was a lot of our conversations, was I would say something and my husband would swear that I never said it because he didn't want to hear it. If I said something that he didn't want to hear, he physically, and it wasn't until after we divorced that I realized this, he actually did not hear what I said, because he would filter it out. If he didn't want to hear it, he wouldn't hear it. If he didn't want to see it, he wouldn't see it. And we all do that. And the scary thing is we don't know we're doing it. And so a lot of the people that we can help with our new opportunity, with our new vehicle, are in a position right now where their beliefs are such that they're not going to hear it. They're not going to see it. They're not even going to know we exist. And the way we get them to know that we exist, the way we get them to just open up to the possibility that we exist and that we can help them, is by changing beliefs. And we change beliefs through stories, epiphany bridges and stories, because that's how we change our beliefs. People will say, well, I've always thought that, or this is what I believe. And one of the things I like to ask people when they tell me a belief, I like to say, and I do this more on myself than ever on other people, but if I catch myself thinking something, say I think that I woke up this morning late, and then I start beating myself up and like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get on schedule because I woke up late this morning. And I start beating myself up. As soon as I notice that I'm doing that, I like to stop and ask myself, well, who does that belong to? Who's upset because you woke up late? Number one, I make my own schedule. I have for a very long time. So for me to say I woke up late is pretty ludicrous. And if I woke up late because I forgot to set Alexa. Everybody's got these Alexa boxes in their house now. I happen to have one too. And all I have her do actually is be my alarm clock. If I forget to tell her to wake me up and I don't get up then until my phone alarm goes off, why would I beat myself up about that? Number one, I choose the time I'm going to get up. And so that is a belief from my past that doesn't serve me. So then I'll have to say, well, where does that come from? Who does that belong to? Who does that belief that I'm late because I don't get up till my alarm clock goes off is judging me as being late? And I have to do that whenever I notice a belief or something coming up. Who does that belong to? And is that my belief? If it is yes, I created that belief. We create all of our beliefs. But how they get created a lot of the times is at a subconscious level, and we don't ever consciously think of them and say, is that belief serving me? Does it serve me to think I'm not good enough? Does it serve me to think I don't deserve something? Does it serve me to have a scarcity mentality? And the answer to all of those is hell no. None of those things would serve me. So if I notice a symptom of one of those type beliefs coming up in my life, the first thing I say is, who the heck does that belong to? Well, it always belongs to me because I created it. But why and how did I choose that belief over the years? And where did that come from? And then I think back about where that came from, and I ask myself, well, does that make me feel good? If it doesn't make me feel good to think that I'm not good enough, then I'm not going to keep that belief. I'm not going to have that be part of my main core beliefs anymore. And I'm going to, on a conscious and subconscious level, get rid of that belief. And so that's what I end up doing. So it's all about beliefs. And since most of our beliefs are subconscious, we need to help people to see our opportunity. And we do that by telling them stories and Epiphany Bridge stories. We learned all about the importance of belief and the big domino. The big domino is the main belief that people have initially when they hear our story or when they see our new opportunity. And there's always one main one. And if you think that there isn't, you need to ask more questions, dig deeper into your target market, and ask yourself, is my new opportunity truly a new opportunity, or is it just an improvement offer? Because sometimes we have to take a step back to move forward, because what we're trying to create isn't a new enough opportunity to really get people's attention. It isn't really a new enough opportunity to really help them transform and change their lives. And that's okay, because it's easy to make it into a new opportunity. We just need to step back and do that. And so there's always one big thing that's holding people back, and it's the biggest thing of ever. And you have to know what that is and figure out what that is, and then that is your origin story. And it's almost always, if we take ourselves back to before we started getting interested in the topic that we're creating a new opportunity in, it's almost always the exact same thing we were feeling. And if we go back to that, number one, it allows us to tap into those feelings, which makes for much more powerful stories. But it also helps us to clearly identify and easily see and relate to where our ideal customers are right now in their journey. Because remember, we're taking them from where they are and where we were to where we are now and where they want to go. Unless we're doing a follow us along, I'm the reporter, I am doing this with you, I am transforming with you type attractive character. And then we still have a big domino. We know right now what is our story, why are we wanting to go on this journey, and we're going to share that with people. And I contend that our own personal stories, our own experiences will always be 10 times, if not 1,000 times more powerful than using other people's stories. And if we're really doing what we're passionate about, it's going to be our story. If we're doing something because we think we should do it, kind of like me being an engineer. I love being an engineer, but it was definitely not my passionate, true calling path of what I should be doing with my life. It was what, based on my 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old self, thought I should be doing to make my way in the world, to go out and get a job, and all the other beliefs that we get when we're young that we think we have to do or should do. And it wasn't until I stepped out of that and said, well, yeah, I'm an engineer, I got all this stuff, but I don't really want to do that kind of work. I want to have my own businesses. I want to change the world in my own way. It wasn't until I stepped into that I really got passionate about what I was doing. And I was a great employee. I mean, I was a great workaholic corporate employee, but I wasn't super passionate about it. And it wasn't until I stepped into doing my own thing and running my own businesses that I really got excited about those. And over the years, I found that I sometimes picked the wrong businesses that I wasn't really excited about or passionate about. I might have loved parts of the business, But overall, I didn't love those businesses. And so it was just a matter of time of creating and then selling off those businesses to try another one, to get into another one that I did feel more excited about, more passionate about. So it's all about sharing our journey with people, and the Heroes 2 journeys, the journey of transformation, which is by far the more interesting and emotional and important decision or journey to people, even though they don't even know about it or realize it. You know, there's the journey of achievement is what we're trying to achieve and what we want to do. And either we get that or we don't in the story. And just because we don't get it in the story doesn't mean it doesn't happen eventually. I've tried a lot of things and gone on a lot of journeys that ended up in me transforming, but not necessarily getting what it was I wanted. An example, let's think of a real life example. I've got a gazillion, but let's take a job example. Say I was going after a job and I thought I wanted a particular job, and I prepared for that interview and I did everything I thought I needed to do, and I studied up on the company and I tried to match, you know, is this a match for me, this particular company? And then I'd go into the interview and I may or may not get the job offer, because part of the time is when you go to the interview, it's got to be as much about you seeing if you want to join that organization as them grilling you to find out if you're a good fit for the organization. And there were jobs interviews that I went to that I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not working for this company, because you can tell in the interview by the style and the questions and everything else if it's a fit for you or not. And a lot of people would just get the job offer, take the job, even though it's not a fit. And I did that too. It wasn't until later in my career that I actually decided I could choose who I wanted to work for, right? You get to choose who you want to work for. We're not desperate. Nowadays, in my coaching business, I get to choose who I'm going to work with and who I'm going to help. And that was actually just a Voxer from one of my coaching students, so I'm going to talk faster. I'm going to wrap this up. And again, then we're creating our Epiphany Bridge stories. We walk through exactly how we create these Epiphany Bridge stories, the Epiphany Bridge script, the questions. Those questions, I don't know if you realize what a goldmine those are for you and for anybody that you decide to help through this process someday. They make coming up with your Epiphany Bridge story so much easier. And if you have funnel scripts, that makes it even easier. But if you don't, ingrain these questions into your being and ask these questions of yourself and of other people, because it helps you to help them create their own message that people can hear and break through, so that they can help the people that they're here to help too. That's it. Go out, make an awesome day. Any questions you have, put them in the form and we will get to them. If I have to make a special video or if I have to call you, I will call you or Voxer you. If you want to Voxer me, go ahead and send me a Vox like somebody just did, and I will answer it right away, or as quickly as I possibly can. If I'm on a call or if I'm doing a webinar or something, then you might have to wait till after my webinar to get your Voxer answer. But that is the quickest, easiest way to get in touch with me. I hope you're having a great day. Review. Do not shortcut the process. My biggest warning to you right now, wherever you are in the process, if you've skipped a step, if you've missed a step, the reason I put these quality, that's an old slip from the past. The reason I put these review and question and answer days is so that we've got some catch-up days, so that we can go back and fill in any exercise we might have breezed over or that we think we need to go back and just give a little bit more of our attention to. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.